Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. Do you know what would happen if I suddenly decided to stop going to work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up. Disappears. It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in.
All right, everybody, let's get that out of here. Running a little behind here. You know how that is. I was actually over at Shape Channel. If you don't know who she is, Shape World, lovely young lady out of Houston, Texas, chopped it up with a couple of brothers. And you know what? I decided to go a little bit earlier. I scheduled my time, was kind of wrong there for a second, but you know what? Let's make it do what it do. Those that come in, we appreciate it. Those that watch it later, we appreciate it, right? So let's get right into it. If you know me, you know how I think from a philosophical level and the ways I like to move in this country, and the ways I try to move. It ain't for everybody. I get it. So I always say, hey, picking up what you're putting down, right? I hope you're picking up what I'm about to put down. And the question is this, excuse me, I clear my throat, is, hey, are we losing our minds? I mean, what's going on? Everybody's flipping over the TikTok ban. We've got a new president that's coming into play. We just had Martin Luther King birthday, and those that celebrate King, kudos to you. I do, great man, top 5, one of the best mans ever walked the face of the earth. Whether you love him or hate him, best man out there that you can try, and I mean try to model your life by. If you want to look at any kind of peace and solidarity with others, that's the man to strive to be after, right? But again, are we losing our minds? We've got a brand new president, and he's doing what he said he's going to do. And to those that didn't vote for him, they're like, I can't believe this. When the man said, this is what I'm going to do, right? It's crazy. The man said, I'm deporting day 1. Well, he's into day 2, day 3. He's starting to deport, right? So the question is, are we losing our minds to not think that this man wasn't going to do what he said he wasn't going to do? There's got to be something going on for you to think in your head that he's not going to do what he said he's going to do. This is the second term, right? For him, it's win, lose, or draw. It's sink or swim, right? My head's a little crooked. See if I can fix that. I like my head to be a little even there. So you got to ask yourself, well, what's going on? Why are we losing our minds, right? So we just coming out of an election, and we've got all kinds of crap going on in this country. Whether you love it or not, facts are the facts, right? Numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, numbers don't lie. So let's look at the numbers and how do we get to where we're at, where people are just going crazy all of a sudden here in the last couple of days, right? So I'm gonna pick on some different ethnic groups, and it's never personal, but this is why I asked, are we losing our minds, right? You know, we had the war over there in Israel and Palestine, and you know, we're not picking sides over here. We believe people have the right to defend themselves. But when you say, I don't want to vote for that person because my religious beliefs tell me I don't vote for that person, i.e. a woman, or I don't think they're going to do something for me, so I'm going to go vote for this person, which you got the right to. Theo ain't knocking it. As long as you voting, I'm with you. I'm supporting you, right? But when you vote for somebody and they let you know, I don't believe in a 2-state solution. I believe in a 1-state solution. And you vote for that person, and now they're in office, guess what? Now you're mad. You're crying foul. He told you what you're going to do. He said it. This is what I want. And now you're crying foul. To my Hispanic brothers and sisters, love you to death. But the man said, day 1, we are going to deport. The border czar says, day 1, I'm going up into Chicago. The border czar said, the first mayor that gets in the way, he getting deported. He getting these hands. That's what he said. He's getting these hands. Now, all of a sudden, what do we see on social media? Let's be honest. We all follow social media, right? But what do we see on social media? Oh, if ICE comes, don't tell them who you are. No, we passed that now. Oh, no. Remember, because y'all wanted that. That's what y'all voted for. You got me? Because now you got what you voted for. Ain't no need of complaining. Oh, no. You going to get these 18 inches from Donald Trump. And I'm going to sit back and smoke my Newport cigarettes like I've been doing the last 51 3/4 years of my fine ass life. You hear me? Damn, I shouldn't have cussed. So at the end of the day, this is what I want to know. Are we losing our minds when someone tells you what they're going to do and they do it? I think we've gotten so used to the rah-rah talk, whether it's social media, People get in front of a camera. I do this. You don't know me. I do this. Well, you got somebody who about to do it. Now, I didn't vote for the man, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. It sounds like to me he's about that life. Now, what you gonna do? Because everything he said he gonna do it. So all my different nationality brothers and sisters, right? For all y'all that are shocked that this is gonna happen, what you shocked for? People are shocked. I can't believe he pardoned those people from January 6th. He said he was gonna do it. So that's why I gotta ask you: are you losing your mind when a man says, "I'm gonna do something," and he stand on business, as the young boys say, on God? On God, he did. On God. I ain't never understood that, y'all. I don't know. If somebody knows what on God means, please tell me, because I'm trying to adapt to the new society way of thinking, right? I'm still stuck in the 70s and 80s, and my word is my bond. That's all I know. But on God, that's what he said, right? And the new thing, for real, for real. And when they type it, it's FR, FR. Man, this is crazy. It's for real, for real. So guess what? President Trump is for real, for real. Y'all must have forgot. As Roy Jones said years ago, you must have forgot now. Now you about to get it. The man said he gonna do what he gonna do, right? And I get it. I'm in the trucking industry. Everybody knows that, right? And to all my trucking brothers and sisters out there, hopefully God's blessed you to wake up and get another day to get your money, whether it's by the mile, hour, percentage, doesn't matter. Get your money and always come safe to the family. God knows that's what Theo wants for everybody. But even some of y'all are now questioning the narrative. Well, I thought he was going to do something. What? He didn't say he was going to do nothing for trucking. He never said he's going to do one thing for trucking. So I ask, are we losing our minds to think that somebody's going to do something for an industry that he has already said he ain't going to do nothing for? He never said he will. Oh, I forgot. Drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. Guess what, drill, baby, drill, people? To all y'all think gas prices gonna come down, and I hope it do, because I buy gas too. Don't get it twisted now. I ain't got but one electric car. That's all. I only got one. When it go in the shop, I gotta rent another car, and it's always a gasoline. So I got my gas car too. So I still got to buy gas. Theo still buying gas. I ain't that bougie. So I want you to understand this. You got 2 refineries that's closing this year in Texas. Phillips 66 is one of them. I can't remember another one name. You can all look it up. Everything I say, you can look it up. But guess what? If we ain't got no refineries, what you gonna do with all this oil being pumped out the ground? You got to send that to another country to bring it back over here. So what's gonna happen to your gas prices? They're gonna go up or down. Y'all took math. We all took math in school. Well, some of y'all didn't. I can tell when I talk to you, half of y'all didn't graduate because you don't know civics. And we know the ones that didn't really have no good daddies. We know what's going on with them, but that's what we here for. In my Southern voice, that's what we here for, boss. We here. Now, let's get to why we here. At the end of the day, if you think things are gonna instantly change, because that's what all y'all said. And I was like, man, these people losing their mind last year. Oh, eggs are through the roof. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at eggs at $10. $10 for eggs. I said, where y'all getting y'all eggs from? This is crap. It was so bad with the egg prices. And this is why I titled it, are we losing our mind? People was losing their minds, right? I had to call my buddy OB in Texas and say, man, what's going on? Hold up, brother. I'm about to send you what eggs cost in my store, in my state. And guess what? 12 dozen was $3.19. Why the hell y'all down south paying $10 for eggs? Somebody wants to explain that to me. Why are you paying $10 for eggs down south? Am I missing something? Explain that to me. Now, I don't know what Biden did to them chickens to have y'all paying $10 for 12 eggs. But I know up here, he told our chickens, give them the discount. He gave us the hookup. Because we wasn't paying $10 for no eggs. Oh, no. You see, so somebody, I don't know who, but somebody was getting 18 inches of meat. Now, I ain't saying who was giving the meat and who was taking it, but if you were buying it, you damn sure were taking it. You can take that to the bank now, to dice it up, slice it up, whatever you want to do. You took them 18 inches of meat. I'm sorry. I know it ain't pleasant, but hey, this is what you voted for, right? Mm-hmm. See, we live in a free market system. That's why I have to ask, are we losing our mind? A free market system, capitalism. That means I can bring my product and charge you whatever I want. It's your choice to buy it, sink or swim. The government can't tell you how much I can charge when the government don't control my business. I want you to put some of that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah. Now they can control Medicare costs. We're going to get into that. They can control that. But they can't control a man who has an egg farm and he's taking them eggs down to Herb, or he's taking them down to Kroger, he's taking them down to Publix. Government can't control that price. Oh, no. No. See, you the consumer, you can control it. You can either buy it or don't buy it. But from what I've seen, y'all was buying. Oh, good God almighty. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of money for 12 eggs. And these wasn't even the large brown eggs. These regular white eggs. Nothing against a white egg, but I'm just saying I love brown eggs. See? So are we losing our mind, people? What's going on? You know, for what 3, 4, 5 is watching? Put something in the comment. Tell me, are we losing our minds here? Because I'm trying to figure it out. At the end of the day, we got TikTok back, y'all. If those who know me outside of social media, and some of them I've met through social media, everybody knows Theo loves TikTok, right? I'm like Telly Savalas when it comes to TikTok. Who loves you, baby? That's what I love. I love me some good old TikTok. And you know what? They done tried to take TikTok away and then roped us in. We thought I went one day without TikTok. True story. OB texted me and said, hey, TikTok is back on. I damn near ran the truck in the ditch. I couldn't believe it. I said, man, you got to be kidding me. Are you what? I'm happy than a pig in slop. I got my TikTok back, right? So the conditions was, it was what did they say? Threat to national security, having TikTok, right? But yet people leave TikTok, they go to Lemonade 8, which is like TikTok, and then they booted you off of that because I tried it. And then everybody went to Red Note, which is owned by a Chinese company. Actually, they owned by the Chinese government because they trying to get to dictate what you get to see. You see, so we can sign up for Red Note, which is owned by a communist country, but we can't get no American TikTok. So are we losing our mind? Let our politicians play us like this? Or is this what it's coming to now? Really? I mean, we really gonna be a hoe for the government just to have a little fun and information? We got to do better than this. There's something going on where we got to do better. If you know better, tell me, because I'm trying to figure it out. Like I said, I was crushed when TikTok left, right? I called my brother DB up. I said, man, there's some straight up boy. And he's like, oh, hold on. My friend just hit the button there. And she's telling me, hey, stop. Don't be cussing. I'm trying to tone it down. So at the end of the day, I'm like, man, this is crazy. So they played the three card Monty, right? And one of these days, I'm gonna ask DB to explain the 3-card Monty to everybody. It's it's something that they've been doing for years, and we keep falling for this game, thinking we're gonna win, and we keep losing every time. Every time we keep losing, it doesn't make no sense, right? It's like, what's going on here? We losing like this, right? But we keep falling for it. And then we get mad and we start yelling at each other when we the one fell for it. Then we start losing our minds again. Like, this ain't right. This ain't right. I don't believe it. This ain't fair. This ain't fair. Okay, well, pick the poison. I had to put this comment up here. Jason put, until they pay Trump half. You right. Until President Trump get his cut of the money, TikTok got 75 days. Now, once they get their little money, then guess what? Well, he get his little money. Let me rephrase that, right? He get his money, then guess what? Now we got TikTok, but it's going to be filtered. We can't do what we used to do on TikTok no more. All that good information they was giving out, man. People were making millions and millions of dollars off of TikTok. Literally, off of TikTok. They was getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell me you gonna stop all this tax revenue from going into the economy? Nah. Nah, we ain't doing that. No, we gonna do better than that. You just ain't gonna take all this money out. I apologize for cell phones. Trying to cut it off here so that that's making all this noise here. Let's see, we get that going. And y'all give me 1 second here. I hate when this thing does this. But hey, it is what it is, right? So you mean tell we're gonna take all this revenue, tax revenue, people making all this money, and just wipe it out, right? Wipe it out. And people, oh man, they getting rid of TikTok. Do y'all know TikTok got warehouses? Y'all know that? They got warehouses here. And now think about that. You're gonna get rid of something that's supplying jobs. Now I gotta ask, is the government losing their mind? You picking up what I'm putting down? Is the government losing their mind? You're gonna say we getting rid of TikTok, right? Now, so what does that mean for the what's the terminology? See, I haven't been owning a truck so long, I can't remember now. Dealing with short haul and all this kind of stuff. Andrew, you in the comment, maybe you could last mile. That's it, last mile. What's this going to do for the companies that offer last mile service? Right? If you take out TikTok and they don't have the products to deliver, guess what? Now you done messed up that aspect of it. So you killing jobs, you killing the tax revenue. And I'm sorry, y'all gonna hear me talk about taxes all the time here on out. You know why? Because I'm at a point I want my Social Security check. And I can't get it if y'all ain't paying into the system. See? That's why we're going to revisit this no tax on overtime. No tax your ass to death on overtime. I keep cussing again. I can't stop today. I am not about to not have my money because you don't want to pay a little tax money. No. I done paid into it for other people to have it. Guess what? You under me, you going to pay into it so I can have it. Hate it or love it. If you don't like it, it don't matter. You still going to pay into it because I'm looking for my check. Like Martin Luther King said, we going to the government and we going to get our check. See what I'm saying? So you got to be picking up what I'm putting down now because I want my money. I want mine. You don't want yours, you can get to me right now, but I want mine. I'm just telling you the way it is. Y'all got me breathing hard now, breathing hard like an elephant chasing me. So getting back to the point here. We've got the TikTok ban going on, but we still can sign up for other Chinese apps. And they say it's a national security with TikTok, right? Also, half the stuff we buy, especially electronics, they ain't even half nothing. I would say 90% of the stuff we buy, electronics, come from China. They can't put something in there to track us. We remember when Vizio came out with that TV. I know y'all remember, and the TV was watching people. You got me? They caught me one time walking around with no clothes on. I got rid of that TV. I said, you ain't paying for all this. So this is what I'm saying. It's not like we are not always in threat of national security. It's when the people, when I say, are we losing our mind? See, when the people realize they got power, well, I take that back. The people realize, they don't realize how much power they got. They don't realize how much power they got. If they knew how much power they had, this wouldn't go down. No, it wouldn't. You know why? Because they're going to see the people control the narrative. And I'm keeping it real with you now. Honestly, we do control the narrative. You know why? If you don't think we don't control the narrative, why they get up there and lie? Because they know there's somebody who's going to believe a lie at the end of the day. They know it. Now, as a politician, my job is to sit back and tell you what you want to hear. And you start losing your mind. See, that's what happens at the end of the day. So you got the power. You don't want to use it. You want to play this game. Oh, I don't like this person because of their color, their hair. I don't like this person. They smack when they eat. They suck. They tap. Now, I ain't going to lie. I can't stand nobody tap dancing. There ain't nothing more disrespectful to me than somebody tap dancing. I don't know why. I can't stand it. You want to talk about buffoonery. Somebody tap dancing. Now, that's just something personal I had going. Let me get a little swig of this water right here. It's water, y'all. It's not vodka. It is water. Trust me. It does go down like vodka, though, smooth. So, getting back to what I was saying here. If we're going to really want to talk about it and be about it, let's ask ourselves. We got to be losing our minds with what we're doing nowadays and what we see what's coming down the pike, right? When we have a president, and I'm not picking sides, I'm just giving facts, that says, I'm going to put something in play so that our seniors, and we all have someone in our family who's older, who's no longer working, who's getting Medicaid, who's getting Medicare, who's getting Social Security, right? We're going to put in place so their products is going to be cheaper. So for all you truckers out there, when you had high blood pressure, you're getting your metformin and your insulin and all this other stuff, right? Because we want to keep you healthy. Somebody got to drive these trucks down the road. Your costs got cut. Well, guess what? My man Trump came in and said, I'm cutting that. Y'all gonna pay the full price and more. And guess what? The American public ain't said a word. So the question has to be asked again. Are we losing our minds to sit here and basically see the hosing that you're getting and don't say nothing? Don't say a word, nothing. But let somebody come up with a dumb dance on social media. Everybody talking about it, going crazy. Let one of these rappers shoot somebody. Everybody talk about it, going crazy, like they got shot, like they involved. But then when it's something that really matters to you, you go in the closet and eat your cheese like a rat. You're silent. So I got to ask, you losing your mind? You ain't going to speak on that? What? Something that really affects you right here and now, and you don't speak on it? Man, please. Y'all definitely lose your mind. Theo gonna speak. I mean, I might not speak to you directly. Don't get it twisted. If you listen and say, well, he ain't told me nothing, well, that means I don't talk to you every day. And it's okay. Don't worry about it. We good. But I'm gonna speak on it, whether it's to you or somebody else. So it becomes the old saying, whether it's directly or indirectly, Theo gonna speak on it. You can hate it or love it at the end of the day. So I gotta keep asking, man, are we losing our minds? What's going on? This is getting crazy because something ain't right, man. Something wrong. There's something in the water that's done got us all messed up psychological, right? We asking the government, what y'all think about this? I got a shake comment up there. And we asked the government to come into the industry that I work, right? Not the industry I love. I just got to get a check. And man, I've been living 5 decades. And I've been in this industry 30 decades. This might be it for me, right? So at the end of the day, we want the government to come in to fix a problem that they created. You see when I say, are we losing our mind? You want the government to come in, fix a problem that the government created. What country they do that at? Where y'all learn? What school y'all went to learn that the government's going to fix a problem they created? Tell me. Hell, they won't even apologize for slavery. You think they're going to fix something in trucking? Did I miss the boat? Something ain't right. As long as I've been living in this country, as long as my ancestors been in this country, and I can tell you now, all my ancestors didn't come from no boat. Believe what you want to believe. But that's another show we're going to talk about too. Y'all mean to tell me you expect the government to come into trucking and do something about the rates? You expect the government to come into trucking and tell the broker he got to tell you his business strategy and how much money he getting? You mean the government gonna come into trucking? I'm W2 over here and tell my company how much they should pay me? Yeah, okay. No doubt about it. Y'all done lost your mind. No doubt about it. You done lost your mind. You see, this is where we're at. So somebody please tell me what we gonna do here? What we gonna do? We gonna keep losing our mind, or we just gonna get it right, or we gonna need more medicine? Does it seem like to me fentanyl is selling like a son of a gun? At the end of the day, they selling some fentanyl. Now, I'm not promoting drugs. I'm actually against drugs. Don't get it twisted. But for some reason, people think fentanyl is going to help them from losing their mind, and they actually going to destroy their mind messing with that stuff. So just for the record, Theo's against drugs. He loved the kids too. So at the end of the day, I had to go back, and I'm still asking, are we losing our minds, man? What's going on here? With all the stuff that's going on, the social climate, the political climate, just what are we doing? We keep getting on a Ferris wheel and asking the guy to stop, knowing we about to throw up, but we know we get sickness when we go up real high, right? And it's like we glutton for punishment. Let me say it that way. And I know it's probably not a good analogy. If you're a certain age, you know what that means, glutton for punishment. I just can't, I'm trying to figure out, y'all can put in the comment 3-4 that's in and tell me what's going on. I want to know. I got the link up there. If anybody want to come in, stick the chest out, beat the chest like King Kong, that's on you. I'll let you beat it all day long. But I just want to try to figure out what's going on. Are we losing our minds? If we are, why are we losing our minds? What's really going on? Because I'm gonna go back to this again. The man said what he gonna do, meaning i.e. the president that we have. He said what he was gonna do. And when he's doing it, now everybody crying wolf. y'all help me, help that make sense. Make that make sense. Not help that make sense. Make that make sense, right? I tell you what I'm gonna do. You don't like it. I get in and I start doing it, and you surprised. What's going on? I thought America had the best education system out there. It seemed like to me our education is dropping, and hey, I'm part of America, so mine's probably dropping too. I'm not gonna lie. I can't retain half the stuff I learned in the 80s. It's not gonna happen. If I can return that belt, the memory of that belt I got hit with in the 70s, I still can remember that belt coming up on me. A lot of y'all guys need a belt every now and then where y'all so emotional. So, but I'm just trying to figure out, man, why are we losing our mind and why are we so surprised, right? You know, it had me thinking yesterday. I was watching an interview with Willie D and Nelly, right? I love me some Willie D. Great show. You know, if y'all never seen his podcast, you should really go watch the Willie D podcast. You know, it was a great rapper, the Ghetto Boys, but I love his podcast, right? And I'm watching back and forth. And, you know, he's going back with Nelly. Nelly's going back with him. And Nelly brought up all the things with Joe Biden, and he talks about the Democratic Party and they started the Klan, this, that, and the third. But then when he came to Trump, he says, "Oh, but people change, right?" Well, you got to be losing your mind to think that one group of people can change and the other people can't. So you're gonna justify by saying people can change, right? And I love these interactions, but sometimes I don't like them because if you're not well versed on politics and you're dealing with somebody who also is not well versed, you walk away with you scratching your head like, what did I just listen to? Because you didn't get not the whole deal, right? And I brung that up because I want to lead into this. Like I said, I have nothing personal against Nelly. Like the music, St. Lunatics, and all the stuff he did. I just don't agree with his political stance, what he said, because I thought it was quite wrong in every way. But the man got the right to say what he got to say, right? And everybody was complaining. Oh, I can't believe Snoop Dogg. I just can't believe Snoop Dogg performed at the concert. What you mean you can't believe he performed that? He's a grown man. He can do what he want to. I mean, why he can't perform at the concert? I don't get it. Why he can't perform? If that man want to perform at the concert, he can perform at the concert. You know, y'all really done lost your mind now. You telling the man, a black man, I want to regurgitate that. You telling the black man he can't go get him a check, as King would say, I'm gonna go get my check. Y'all stupid. Are we really that dumb, black people? We losing our mind to say this man can't go get a check with his Snoop Dogg. I don't know who the other guy was. Oh, Rick Ross, and some other guy, and Nelly. Man, listen, you got to get a check. You can't let your political views get in the way of getting a check. I mean, that's like being a 7-Day Adventist. What's wrong with you? No, they gonna get their money. Now, here's the thing. Once they got their check, now they can say what they want to say. Just be informed on what you're talking about. You know, that's my opinion. Just be informed. That's all you got to do. If you can be informed, hey, we'll be good. We're good to go. You know what I mean? That's all I ask. Just be informed, and we'll go from there. At the end of the day, if I can use that analogy, right? I always like to say that, you know. But I thought that was hilarious. Him and Willie D, they're going back and forth. Why he did what he did, and Willie D's like, it's a Klan country, and he's trying to say it ain't a Klan country. Look, man, if somebody gonna cut you a check and you ain't got to do nothing illegal, I'm gonna repeat this: nothing illegal, then go get your money. Just say, hey, man, I went to get a check. That's it. Because we ain't agree on everything politically um, in this country. I'm breathing all hard like crazy. We're just not gonna agree. So, hey, get your money, man. That's the way I see it. Get your check. Let me see. DB said there's no link. I thought I would drop the link earlier. Let me see if I can try to do it, brother. I'm just figuring it out with this new PC. So I might not be able to drop the link. I might be able to drop the link. Let's see. I'm at a text DB. At the text me, hey, what's the way to do it with this new computer? I'll see if we can get it going because I did want my brother to come up here and chop it up with me for a little bit because I know he has to go to work here shortly. So we're gonna try to get it dropped there for you, DB, in the second here. But like I said, so everybody's once again, y'all, this is water. This is water. I'm not gonna lean the cup forward so you can see the water and it's mixed with something, but this is water. Trust me. So, like I said, so everybody's complaining about these guys performing at the inauguration, right? And I'm like, what you complaining about, man? They gotta get a check. Y'all lose your mind. You don't want this man to make no money, really? Now I get the flip side. They say, oh, well, you promoting that you like Donald Trump. No, I'm trying to get a check. That's just it. I'm gonna keep it real with everybody. A lot of people talk a lot of stuff, what they wouldn't and wouldn't do. Now we're talking legal stuff, nothing illegal. But when people say that all the time, right? I'm gonna tell you something. Let somebody throw a big old check at me like that and see if I won't go and do some performing. You see what I'm saying? I do now. Ain't gonna do no tap dancing because I can't stand tap dancing. Tell you that right now. That ain't gonna happen. But just to actually see, hey, let's do it. I'm on board. That's just how I see it. I'm on board. That's just the way it is. So let me see if I can get this going for you here, DB. I think we're gonna be able to do it. Let's go. All right. Y'all give me 1 second. Trying to get this link to drop. This new computer doesn't want to work with me today. Let's try it one more time. Nope, can't get it to work for some reason. Highly upset. So let me try this. Maybe better to do this real quick. I kind of like to keep myself in tune with what we're talking about, the conversation. All right. All right, I'm try one more thing here so I can keep myself moving. Let's hold this down. All right. Yep, wasn't able to do it. Let me see. Ma put in a comment while I was fooling around with something. What did he type in? I can only imagine. Let's see. This man puts in if you own a Mob, do you mean if you own a company, OWN, or you got if you own a company, copy the link and email to him. It to him is the long way, but the easy way is with your setup. Yeah, you're right, Mob, but I'm trying to get my setup to work. That was what the problem we was having. And I could copy the link and send it to his email. I don't have his email. DB, if you want to send me the email, I can go through my phone and do it that way and try to send it to you. Matter of fact, let me do that if you text it to me. Give me 1 second here. Because I guess we got people that want to come up. You know what I mean? You know what it is? Let's see here. All right. All right. Y'all give me 1 second. We done broke the live up now. We was talking, and then we done broke the live up. So let's go in the studio here. Everything. Besides, I need a little break anyway. Getting out of this. So yeah, so I can do this while I'm talking, y'all. So bear with me. I appreciate everybody that came in so far. Mob, G Way. Let's see who else came in. I think I see my man pop in. Of course, DB Shape World. Mr. Marcus was in. Jason Andrew Jackson. All right. So we got a good little crowd. I was looking for Mr. Hill to pop in with his philosophy, but we gonna get that going. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mob. It's more so the computer, so I'm fighting with that at the same time. So, like I was saying, right, everybody's complaining about these brothers getting their money. At the same time, if we all was afforded that opportunity, we all be doing the same thing. We all be trying to get that money. So let's lay off these brothers because I get it. They don't quite understand um a lot of this stuff that's going on. And at the end of the day, who are we? You know what I'm saying? Who are we to judge what another person can and cannot do when it comes to getting this paper? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but when it comes to getting this paper, we got to make it do what it do at the end of the day, because you don't know when this money coming. It could be here or gone tomorrow, so you don't know. And I'm playing with something right now. Y'all, give me 1 second. Trying to get this over. What do we have? Wait, wait for the link. I'm trying to get you the link, brother. I'm having some complications here. So let's do this. All right. Let me see if this works for you. There we go. I think this might be it, DB. I think this might be able to bring you in. And of course, I'm going to say, and I know no cussing. Mob's in the building. He going to want us to cuss, but no cussing. You know what I'm saying? We know how Mob like to get his cuss on. And don't get it twisted, y'all. Me and Mob was just on Shape World channel, chopping it up. I like Mob. We respect each other. We don't agree all the time, but we do respect each other. And Mob know I'm gonna talk slick to him. I'm gonna punch him in the stomach, and he gonna try to lap. I'm gonna kick him in the leg. You see what I'm saying? All right, brother. I see that's you. Let me make sure that's the original Dirty Broke. There is an imitation one out there. That's you. Let me bring you on stage, brother. Mr. Dirty Broke. How are you, young man? How are you?
Good, good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
For some reason, yeah, sounds a little low, man. What's up, man? You got it figured out. I think I need to take that link and share it in the chat. Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah, if you can.
Give me,
Let me
give
Go
me a
ahead.
minute. Give me a minute.
I had to turn you down a little bit in my earphone. You came in hard in the paint. If y'all didn't know, DB's been going live with me because he's actually helping me walk through a
All
lot of
righty.
this. Yes, sir.
All right. Give me a second. Hang it over here. Let me drop that in there. All right. Should be in there.
Yeah, I see it. Now,
There we
I,
go.
I charge him for coming over here doing stuff like that. I'm just sitting
All
there.
right. Get my money. Cut my check.
I know
My
that.
check.
Yeah,
Hey, I wanna. I ain't got long, man. Because when I
I
hear
know
that garage door, opening up, I gotta get out of here.
brother. Go on, speak your piece. Speak your piece.
Yeah. Real quick, man. When you was talking about the Nelly, the Snoop Dogg, that whole thing, right? I'm
Mhm.
with you 100%. When it comes down to getting the money, go get your money, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
Yeah.
never gonna get in the way of a man going to go get his money. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now, what I do got a problem with, you know me, like I like history, right? You know,
Correct.
I read just a little bit. I don't read a whole lot. But with Nelly, he was good when he said, I'm gonna go get the money. No, excuse me. He said he didn't need the money. I said, now wait a minute, Nelly, Nelly, you ain't had a hit since what's that, Country Grammar, whatever the hell that thing was. Like, come on, bro.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
we all need the money. Like, don't insult our intelligence when you say you don't need the money. Don't do that, man.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
the money. I'm good with that. Get the money. But when we start talking about the history, right, and that's where I got a problem with. Because
Mm.
we read just a little bit. We don't read a lot. We read just a little bit. And it was just saying some things that, like a lot of people do when we talk about this kind of stuff. When we talk about racism and stuff like that,
Mhm.
people just kind of skim the top. You know what I mean? They just kind of take the cream off the stuff that they like, but they don't do a deep dive into what actually happened. You know what I
Correct.
mean? When we're talking about the crime bill, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Because
Mhm.
people just know Joe Biden was a part of the crime bill, right?
Correct.
I think we all know that. But he wasn't the only one a part of that crime bill. It was a whole lot of people that drafted that bill up, right? But for some reason, he seems like the only one to get labeled with it, right? But what I find interesting about that crime bill was Joe Biden is like one of the only. There might have been a couple other people that didn't want the three strikes and you're out for life for three felonies, any felony. You know what I'm saying? Three convictions or whatever it was. He was actually opposed to that. See, people are not going to tell you that because they're not going to take the time and read the whole back and forth when that crime bill was drafted up. But
Correct.
I read it. You know what I'm saying? I read
Yeah.
it. And Joe Biden was opposed to that. He didn't want you to get life if you had petty crime.
That's right.
But there's some other folks that didn't care. They didn't give a damn. They don't tell you that.
Yeah, three strikes, and you're out, right?
For any crime.
Yeah, and that's the problem when people use these examples but don't give a full context of why did we come up with the three strikes law, right? Because it was bad. And I don't agree with the whole process, but it was really bad. They had to do something, right? And the downside of it was, and I'm gonna come back to what you were saying, was they was locking up the users. So we was breaking up the families. That's what really hurt. And that was one of the reasons why he apologized for it. But what people want to do is with that crime bill, they would say, well, one, we had a Democratic president at the time, right? Two,
Bill Clinton.
That's right. Two, people forget not only did Bill Clinton sign off on it, Joe Biden, who was a senator at the time, people. He was a senator.
One senator. He can only be one senator.
There you go. One. Yeah. Newt Gingrich signed off on it, who was a Republican House member. The Black Caucus signed off on it. And everybody who has signed off on that crime bill realized the impact afterwards. And they all realized they went too far. So what do we do now? We decide we're not going to just lock everybody up because you're found with drugs, right? If you're not selling, we understand you're a user. Well, that crime bill took the user and made them no different than the seller. It made them no different than the murderer. You get what I'm saying? It combined everybody. They basically took everybody. That was
just broad brush. You know what I mean?
Made a collage is what I was trying to say. And you're right, they broad brush. So now, granted, I agree with what they're doing now. Do I? And this is where you guys hate when I do this. Yes, what they're doing now, they should be doing, which is getting the people help to get them off of drugs.
Totally.
I'm upset that they didn't do that in the beginning when they had to do the crime bill. But we are seeing a better way of handling these problems. And a lot of people like Nelly, because Nelly's a couple of years younger than me. And I don't think they truly understand the financial, the physical, and the psychological impact of what that did. Pre-crime bill and after crime bill, right? You know, some may say, well, man, once the crime bill came into place, it got worse because you took so many fathers out of the household who weren't dealers, who may have been users.
Right?
You see,
absolutely.
it took the mothers out of the household who wasn't dealers, who was users, who could have got help. You know, there were so many young Black boys and girls that grew up in foster homes. That's all they knew. All they knew is foster homes, right? Because of that crack epidemic. Because instead of getting them help to keep the family structure together, we just gonna break it up. Everybody going, man, the dog was getting locked up. I seen the video with the dog in handcuffs. And he had to put a muzzle on the dog.
I'm telling you, man, like we lived through a lot of this stuff, and I'm gonna tell you that everybody was getting locked up. And I'm not condoning it by no means, but I'm just telling what the reality was. And then it's always easy for us to look back. Man, you're talking, what was that, 90? Was that 94? Was that 94? You're talking 30 years ago, bro. Almost 31 years ago, or just about 31 years ago.
Yeah, but look at
right?
the impact
Like,
of it.
so we can all, like, it's so easy to play Monday morning quarterback. But when you're in the fire, like that goes for each and every person. When you're making a decision in the moment, most of the time you're not going to make the right decision. But you
Correct.
make it, you deal with it, and you try to go from there. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
just is what it is. Like I said, I'm not condoning it because it was a travesty of what happened. But then, but see, what people don't want to talk about was you had multiple presidents since then, and nobody tried to reverse that.
Nope. Nope.
Hmm? If the 94 crime bill was so bad, and I think it was bad, I agree it was bad, why didn't any other president reverse that?
Yeah. Any president, or why didn't some of these talking pundits who like to
Uh-oh.
get up there and use that to say, well, this party, look what they did, and you got a microphone and you ain't saying we should have been doing this earlier. We should have been
See,
taking care of this. So
see, there
they
you go.
wouldn't do it because of the profit margin.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Now, let's get now. See, now that's a good segue because I caught a little bit of you on my when y'all was talking about the capitalism.
Correct.
See, what they realized, but this was after they did all the locking up. They actually realized it was very profitable. See, they're not going to tell you that. That's why I'm here. I'm going to tell you that. They realized, like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty profitable. You understand? See, that capitalism drove that. You understand? Because
Yeah.
you had a lot of people making a lot of money off of that. That's why nobody wanted to reverse that crime bill.
That's, you know what, you're 100% correct, right? And here's the thing. Let's back it up.
Go ahead.
Get to the crime bill, and we start to look at. Now, for y'all, I cam down for a minute. For those that are looking, I am a smoker, but I don't like to smoke in public and live. It's disrespectful to the audience. I'm trying this whole new thing of being a good shepherd, right? Lead by. So that's why I now my avatar is up there. But if we take a step back, right? And when the governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, was the governor of California, that's when the private prisons really took off, right? And we can correlate all this with the crack epidemic, the crime bill, because they started building prisons based on second grade test scores.
Uh-oh.
You see what I'm saying? And then you implement everything that's been done from the time crack hit the street, and when that happened, right? And I'm gonna say something, but I want to wait till I come to the camera and say what I want to say about that crack hit the street. But when the crack hit the street, it hit like wildfire, and the profitability of it. Then they started really looking, and then these prisons started saying, "Well, hold up, we've got a population that's going to come here. Why shouldn't I take advantage of it?" And now we got for-profit prisons, and now we introduce laws that are worse than the black codes. A lot of people don't remember these black codes, right? We got laws worse.
So now, so you take the crime bill, which was devastating. I'm not going to deny that. But what you have today in 2025 is 100 times worse than that crime bill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now somebody go run tell that.
They ain't gonna do that.
They ain't gonna do that.
No,
because it doesn't fit a narrative.
Correct. Now
if you want to learn a little bit more about it, there's a beautiful book called The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Go read that book.
Oh, man,
and for the people that don't know how to, for people that don't know how to read, it's on audio too. You can get it on audio.
There you go.
You know
there you go. So, let me say this, right? I'm still holding 6 people in here, so I'm doing good in my eye anyway, right? Here's the thing, you guys, what you got to realize with the crime bill, everything has a beginning, a middle, and the end. We're never going to get to the end because the middle is so profitable, right? We're just going to clean it up, repackage it. The only way to get to the end is personal responsibility. We do not participate in illegal drugs. That's how we get to the end. But the beginning of what caused the 1990 or 91 crime bill was the President Ronald Reagan wanting to have a war in Nicaragua. And guess what? The government said, the Congress says, we're not giving you the money. So they came up with a good, ingenious plan. We're going to fight this war in Nicaragua, but we're going to get the drugs that are made in Nicaragua. Think about, I'm saying it twice. Get the drugs that are made there, bring them here and sell them to a specific group of people and supply the war. Now,
So they brought the drugs here,
yes,
sold the drugs here to what? To buy weapons to fight the war back down there.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But see, I'm old enough, you old enough to remember this. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these, younger folks, they don't quite remember that. You know what I mean? Now, this is before the crack epidemic. This was just pre the crack epidemic.
There you go.
I mean, a lot of you guys, they heard about the freeway Ricky Ross. That's the real Rick Ross. You know what I mean? That a lot of y'all might have heard about him. You know what I mean? Movie Snowfall, that was pretty much loosely based on his life. But yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. We was around.
Yeah, there you go. I've been around,
Yeah, I've been around,
So at the end of the day, that if you go back to that part, that's really what initiate the crime bill, right? Now, as students of history, we know that Nixon really brought on the crime bill. You see what I'm saying? And we're talking, well, you was born that time. I'm still a young tyke. I wasn't being made. But
you talked about earlier on Shape Live feed with the government, and the government always do this. They create the problem, right? And then they come up with a solution for the problem that they created. That's the same thing they did. That's the same thing they did way back then. They did the same exact thing. They allowed the drugs to come in here. Remember, it was the war on drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they said, "Oh my God, we got a problem." Oh no shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the war.
This is the United States government. This is the war that they created.
But what when people say, well, it's a war on drugs, you put the drugs here. In a war, if you didn't put the drugs here, there would be no war on drugs. You see what I'm saying? Now listen, I've been a young guy, living. I've got 5 decades in my back pocket. And I'm thankful for all 5, and they ain't all been good. But I got 5 decades plus in my back pocket of living on this earth, right? And to go through the motion and look at all the stuff that the government complains about, but yet they create these problems. And then when it gets so out of control, and it's not about out of control, once they get caught with their pants down, now we want to do something about it, right? Because the government admitted it, that for some of you guys that don't know this, the government admitted it that they put crack in the Black neighborhood. They admitted that. There's nothing new under the sun. The problem was we was all entertained with Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. See? You see? See, now Nelly didn't say that. He didn't say nothing about that. Because if you'd admitted it, admit that the government actually stated that they did this, well, what are you bringing up Joe Biden for?
But what Nelly did do when Willie D brought up Trump being a racist or whatever, like we talked about this. I don't think Trump's a racist, but we're gonna get back to that. I personally don't think he's a racist, but we're gonna get back to that. But when Nelly Willie D brought up Trump being a racist, and Nelly was like, well, people can change.
Correct.
I agree with that. But he didn't say the same thing about Biden. Like you can't, like, if you're going to say it, you got to say, like, you can't just like cherry pick. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be hypocritical about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think he can change. I think Biden can change. Shit, I changed. You changed. Like, I ain't the same DB I was 30 years ago. You understand?
I can admit I changed, right? The only time I had white hair on my face was when I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing and got on my face that shouldn't have been on my face. I was trying to make a cake. So,
like G-Way said too, Oliver North too. You're absolutely right.
Man, Oliver North.
This is a military guy, mind you. Okay, but y'all go look up Oliver North if y'all never heard about. Man, there's multiple documentaries on this stuff, man.
Correct, and that's why we say, and I think we've agreed with this. This is why we say there is no reason for people to make these kind of statements when the information is out there, right?
Well, it is a reason, Theo, because they don't. It's either one or two things. It's the two most dangerous things in the planet.
Mm,
Either you sincerely ignorant, or you're being conscientiously stupid,
correct.
or both,
Yeah,
or both. You know what I mean? But those are the two most dangerous things on the planet. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So he knew. See, Nelly knew a little bit about the history part, but then I don't know if he conveniently left some out or he just didn't know. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I don't know Nelly, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he don't know. You
correct.
know what I mean? He didn't know. So because I don't know him, so I ain't gonna beat up on him for that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
I think he
but-
cherry picked his way through it, right? Because basically he said nothing other than what everybody else said, right? It's like when a person becomes a conservative or a Republican and they kind of get put on the spot, and I don't care what you become, just vote,
mhm,
right? As long as you know what you're voting for, I still don't care. But
mhm.
they repeat the same verbiage, right? And they want to give you a little bit. It's like, well, hold up, man. Don't bring up none of it if you're not going to give it in this full context,
Entirely.
right?
There you go.
Because that's when
It's like opening that book up in the middle. It's like, wait a minute, what
correct.
happened? What preceded that? Like what came before that? Like
There you go. See, and that's where the problem really comes in in my opinion. I don't have a problem people talking about this kind of stuff because I think we should talk about it, right? Because
absolutely. Because a lot of people don't know this, man, because it's
yeah,
how people are getting information. And of course, depending on where you get your information from, people are going to push a narrative. And I don't care which side of the aisle you're on, right, left. If you're on the left side, they're going to push a left narrative. If you're on the right side, they're going to push a right narrative. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It just is what it is.
And now I'm gonna read a question that Ma put up here.
Let me see. Let me go to the
It is
comments.
it is very important. This question is important. And it basically do you think now mob types a certain way? So read it way mob type, y'all. It's not my reading ability. It says, do you think there should be a bill passed that no misguided or misinformation about history can be put out on social media?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mm.
Now, it's funny. It's
You
funny
gonna
that Mob put.
you
It's
gonna
funny
take
that Mob.
back and
It's
smoke a
funny that Mob. It's funny that Mob put that in there because you take these what are these things called? These social medias now, and they don't have to fact check. But I remember a time. I know you remember a time. We talked about this plenty of times that you particularly if you was a news station, and I know G-Way in there, G-Way remembers this, you could not put out misinformation. If you put out misinformation, they would snatch your ass off the air like that. They would snatch you off the air like that. You could not put out misinformation when it came down to news. You couldn't put out your opinion. You could only put out facts.
right.
But see, they did away with that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, and we try to get it back when Obama got into office. And so many because the way the news media is, they characterize it as and I will speak personally, right? I have a brother who's a strong Christian conservative. I love him to death. Don't agree with half this stuff, but I love him to death. I would always say that about my brother and anybody in my family. I have no problem saying I love them publicly or to them. But his thing was, and he started quoting Rush Limbaugh. Well, if the Democratic Party want their station, they should go and listen to their people, right? Now, we both know this wasn't about red or blue, black or white. This was about if you bring somebody on, let's say Fox News, and they have, let's just say, I can't think of the guy's name right now. The young guy from Florida, well, Tim Scott. Let's say Tim Scott. You got Tim Scott on, and they're talking about a bill that's about to be passed. Then by law, you had to bring someone like a AOC on so they can debate the bill. So that the
And you
people,
had to give them equal amount of time. It was called the fairness doctrine.
there you go. And they took that away in the 80s under Reagan, and that's how Rush Limbaugh blew up. And now everybody gets misinformation. You see, and it's not just done on the conservative side, people. I'm not just picking on it.
It's done on both sides,
Yeah,
man.
mostly on the conservative side, but it's still done.
Well,
on
what happened? What happened was the conservatives started it, right? And then the liberal side said, "Wait a minute, we're losing a lot of money during advertisement because the conservatives." So then the liberals started doing it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it was a snowball.
So
effect.
now they all do it. Now social media does it. Social media allows it. You can put anything out. You know what I mean? And nobody, you won't be held accountable for it unless somebody run up on you or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
But see, this is the point where I have to ask the question: is are we losing our minds when we really rather have misleading information than the truth? Right? When they had the hurricane down in Carolina, and there was so much misinformation put out there. I mean, you would read articles on social media, and you know me, I'm a TikTok fanatic, and I would see articles up there. And I'm like, man, this is a straight up lie. What y'all talking about? What are you talking about? Right? They're discussing it. And of course, you know, I'm always on TikTok, and I know a lot of people from TikTok, and they have their opinion, and a lot of them they've asked me to come on there and on their lives with them, and I happily applied. And I'm talking to one person, they telling me how things are. And I said, hold on. What state are you from? And they told me. I said, okay, well, I'm from that state. I know that region, and everything you just said is a straight up lie. What are you talking about? You see, and they stuttering, they're carrying on, but people, and this guy had over 10,000 people in there. They were all on his side, and he was just deliberately lying. I mean, he was just going hard in the paint, lying. And this is where I keep asking, man, are we losing our minds in this country?
Yes.
Where
yes, we are.
the lie is now the truth.
The truth. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's now the truth.
Yes.
It's like, you got to be kidding me. But you know what? I'm going to say something.
Go ahead.
And I know why. Because for years, we've been praying to a man that is not depicted in the Bible. And it's a lie. And
but
yeah.
Your thumbnail there. Put your thumbnail up real quick here, Mr. Theo. Put your thumbnail up real quick.
Don't ask me to do something like that. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Where's the thumbnail?
Oh, Jesus Christ. But anyway, you're Malcolm X. You're Malcolm X.
Oh, you're talking my avatar.
Yeah, your avatar. Excuse me, your avatar. Yeah.
I'm into my avatar.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Malcolm X. Now, Malcolm X said something a long time ago, long before most of us on this panel was alive, and he said the media, which is, of course, it wasn't social media back then, so it was the media. He said the media, the newspapers, can make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent.
Good God Almighty!
He said that. He said that back in the 60s. Like I said, this was before the social media thing we use now. You understand? And guess what? It's true to this day.
You know what? I got to give you an applause for that because I forgot about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Sometimes us old guys need other old guys to bring us back.
Because we get old. I forget things too. That's why we got to help each other, because it's a lot of information, man. Like I'm an avid reader. Like I used to read a lot more than I do now. You know what I mean? And this is how I learned this stuff, man. And I actually learned a lot of this stuff from my older brothers. You know what I mean? They taught me a lot of this stuff. You know, and this stuff, and get this stuff wasn't on Google. This was before Google, people that I learned this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Typing nothing in no Google. You know what I mean? So
Google is the new information highway to mislead people.
How many times have we went to Google and said, "There's a lie"?
Yeah,
There's a lie. Google don't have it, because somebody had to put that information in Google. Like that ain't even accurate. Google. You know what I'm saying? We had to teach Google. You know what I'm saying?
You're definitely right. You know, and I got to put this comment on the screen. I shouldn't. But
Let's see what you got.
Ma put up there: bald head guys receive information better than guys with hair. You know,
I would agree. I would agree, Ma. as being being the president of the
Yeah,
Bald Head Club.
I did
You know
not
what I
have
mean?
to
As
admit
being
from
the
you.
president of the Bald Head Club, I would agree about
Yeah,
it.
I agree, but it just begs the question, man. It's like
Uh-huh.
it's 2025, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm looking at people's reactions to the election. I'm looking at people's reaction to TikTok and people's reaction to MLK and the Confederacy Day, all this stuff, right? And I'm listening what people say about each one of these. And I keep saying, are we losing our minds? Because the debate about King at this point, and I've had to learn this two older guys. I'm gonna name them nameless. They always say, "Don't bring my name up," so I'm not gonna bring their name up. But
Bring them
they
up.
had
Bring them up. Bring them up.
Jay-Z, bring them out, bring them out. But at the end of the day, I had to change my stance that I've harbored over the last 30 years, right? And it was just a 10%, just a dial. So
Nah, I heard you used to say I didn't even we didn't even know each other, and I used to hear you say this, and I said I'm gonna get with that guy right there. That guy need to be educated about this. You very knowledgeable, but that
Yeah.
one right there, you had that one wrong. I said,
Yeah,
nah,
well,
I'll get with him. He had that one wrong right there.
feelings. I was in my feelings at that point. So I will admit it because
I said he know a lot of stuff, but that one right there he got wrong. Yes.
and here's the thing, right? I had to get taken to school by DB and T Hill because we have these discussions when we do have time to talk throughout the day. And they know I'm a Malcolm X guy through and through, never going to deny it, going to the grave with it, right? But I do love King's speeches. I did and always will love what he stood for as a man, as a father, and the sacrifices that he made, right? But because my view was so much with what Malcolm was talking, and I had to equate it this way to these two guys, is we're looking at where we're each born at, and where we're born at really plays the outlook of how you see the world, right? And I was born in the South. I don't live there no more. A lot of people, when they first met me, nobody ever knew I lived in the South. You know what I'm saying? So, but coming from that, I seen it from Malcolm's perspective. I seen the nasty side, right? I've got an older brother, two of them now, an older sister. They grew up seeing crosses burned in people's yard. I remember going to Cary, North Carolina at 10 years old, and the big sign said join the Klan. So my viewpoint was not a Martin Luther King viewpoint. My viewpoint was Malcolm X, right? Let's just send everybody home looking like raccoon, black eyes. Now, he didn't say let's beat people up. His thing was if they come at you, you protect yourself, right? The same centrifugal force they bring it, you better bring it back. Where King was a little bit different. And I understand that they both had different philosophies, but they both wanted what was best for their people. Now, of course, having the conversation the other day, I had to come with grips that, okay, I'm wrong on this issue. And I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I'm wrong. My outlook was wrong, but I still stand on that. I love both of those guys. I think they were both great. We will never see another King. We will never see another Malcolm. We will never see another Marcus Garvey. Never see another Marcus Garvey, right? And for those, the ones that are in the room, and hey, everybody hit that like button too while you're in here, if you don't mind.
Hit that like button. I hit
And
it before I came in.
thank you. And if you get it on replay, I challenge anybody, go look up and read on Marcus Garvey. It'll change your outlook because there's three things that we discussed the other day. And I said, Garvey, King, Malcolm, they had three things in common. They were all three well-read. They read books. Even now to this day, when I listen to a King speech, and I've heard everyone, and I'm not talking about this when I get to the mountaintop, all this, hit the link. Don't tell T Hill, hit the link. You hit the link. When I see all this, all the mountaintop stuff, hey man, that's all
the stuff
really good.
And that's all they play when the news outlets, that's all they play is the mountaintop. Like, man, he has so many speeches, man.
Powerful
The
speech.
mountaintop was just one of them.
Well, that was the one that was the least, it was a speech that didn't bring a lot of fear. And it was a speech. How can I say it?
See,
It was like a
but
holiday speech. Go ahead.
but see, when they do that, it doesn't give you the full scope of Martin, and that's why a lot of people have that opinion of Martin. But see, we know that other Martin, that
Correct.
nasty Martin.
There
You
you go.
understand? Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
See, a lot of people don't know that because they never heard Martin speak like that.
Yeah,
But we
that's
heard it.
yeah, yeah, and they
Yeah.
didn't understand it, right? And to my brother K Jose, I wish you was in here, but you always on Shape, and we'll talk about it then. But I just want to put something out there so Shape can remind you. Martin Luther King was never a scary man of anything. This is a man who marched when they was throwing bricks at him. Trust me, this man wasn't scared of nothing.
Uh,
This man was
all
about.
right. All right. My ball's here. So hey,
You about to get
appreciate
out
it.
here?
I'll be listening. Yep. Yep.
All right, brother, appreciate it.
All right. All right. Y'all be good.
Y'all, everybody, that is DB. We appreciate him coming by. Got a little clap for him. A little applause till I get all this worked out. I'm gonna be pushing buttons left and right till we get it right. So now let's get back into it. DB going. I can say what I want to say now. So here we go. Right. We're gonna do our history lesson in a couple of weeks on some of these affluent Black leaders that we have in the past. We don't really have a lot of them now. Because for some reason, people like to think that a basketball player in the Black community is a leader. I don't know why we get sports athletes as leaders, right? And that's another one that makes me question: are we losing our mind when we keep having everybody else tell us who our leader is? But you go to no other ethnic group, they would never get to tell them who their leader is, right? So it begs the question, are we losing our mind? And you're right, G-Way. Let me put this comment up here. G-Way said, Muammar Gaddafi. A lot of people don't know who Gaddafi was, and who was a great man who did a lot for his country. He's another one I would recommend people find books on him and read about him. He's out of Libya. He was the president of Libya. Believe it or not, people, he just typed something that made me think. Libya had agreed to give, what was my man's name? I'm getting old, I can't remember. Minister Louis Farrakhan, $1 billion to help the Black people in this country. 1 billion when he was living. And Mr. Louis Farrakhan, of course, when you get that kind of money, you have to go through the federal government, and the federal government denied it. So don't ever think that there are people that don't live here that aren't trying to help us. Don't ever think that. But we still got to do for ourselves. Now, we can't blame people that don't look like us when we out here nutting up and cutting up. Now, I'm going to put it where the ghost can get it on that one. You'll never hear me blame everybody for everything, because we got to be accountable to them. But in the past, I'm blaming them. I feel blaming them. In the past, yes. Too many laws put in place, too many restrictions put in place. Cost us, when you got free, we lost 100 years after we were free, just because of all the laws and restrictions. But now these restrictions are minimum, but we're making it harder on ourselves. So when I say, are we losing our minds? I'm going to ask you again. Are we losing our minds in 2025 when we still can't get along with each other, when we still treat a Black business? I'm going to get into this. When you treat a Black business and you undervalue them, you underestimate this Black business, you marginalize this Black business. You want to go to a Black business and tell them what they should be charging you. I want to say that one more time. That's why I say, are we losing our mind? How can you go to a Black business, right? Just think about it. Go to a Black business and then debate them on their price. Debate a Black business on their price, but go to a white business, overpay, go to a Chinese business, overpay, and walk out with a smile, even though they done disrespected you. It begs the question, do Black people like being disrespected? See, that's why I got to ask, are we losing our minds here? You see, I've heard this over and over from Black businesses. Man, they come in, they want to tell me what my worth is. They want to tell you what your value is. Hey, you go to a store and that shirt says $59. You don't go to the freaking counter and tell them, I only think I should pay $29. You pay it. You go to the store, you buy them eggs for $12 down there in the southern regions, some places, not all. You pay it. So don't go to no black business when you get a bill for $12,000 and everybody else is paying $13,000 and you still getting it cheaper, but you want to pay $9. And then when you leave and you go somewhere else, now you're paying $15. So stop trying to tell these black businesses what they're worth. If you don't want to pay the money for them, don't go there. Don't patronize them. Because guess what? You ain't helping the situation when you trying to tell a man, you want to devalue a man or a woman what their worth is. If a sister girl's in the back and she done came up with a creative way to make her food, and this is her price, don't you go in there and tell her it's too expensive when you go to anywhere else and pay $100 for a steak that they put $3 worth of gold leaf on that you can order off Amazon. I don't know why you eat no shit like that anyway. Excuse my language, because I don't know why you eating it anyway. But I can't knock a man for what he likes, just what I don't like. You got me? But don't go to these places trying to tell them what they should charge. That's like me going into Mob's tent shop and telling him, well, man, I don't think you worth $500 to tint my back windows. I don't think it. Even though he shows me the bill. He shows me the breakdown, the labor, the cost. He shows it to me. But I'm still telling him, I don't think it's worth $500. Well, leave. Leave. This is where I keep asking myself, are we losing our minds? What's going on with us as Americans as a whole? And right now, I'm just talking about black people, but I'm talking American as a whole. We are literally losing our mind. And I will stand on this when it comes to, because we all heard every YouTube, social media channel, they all say the same thing, right? Black businesses, we got to support black businesses. We got to support them, right? But then when we go to try to support them, or they open up, oh man, we ain't got such and such here. It'd be nice if we had a black nail salon. It'd be nice. But then when you get one, you want to tell the woman how much she should charge you. You don't do it at no Asian nail shop. Let's be honest, you don't. You do not do that at an Asian nail shop. You would not walk into a Ruth's Chris restaurant, a Olive Garden restaurant. You would not walk into any of these facilities butt naked, like that girl did at the Turkey Hut. Excuse me, I plug my computer up. 1 second here. Got to plug it up earlier. So I was rushing trying to get home. All right, there we go. Got some juice coming in. So we won't do that. We will only do it to our own people in our own community. And then we start losing our minds trying to figure out why we're not getting ahead collectively. I'm not talking individually. I'm talking about collectively why we are not getting ahead, right? Because one thing I know, and I've known people, let me rephrase that. I know people of all different nationalities from different countries. And I'm very well with these people. We have great relationships. But one thing I've learned, no matter what part of the world they're from, when they get here, they decide we're going to work together. So when a Ukrainian comes here and he meets a Polish guy, they don't see eye to eye in their home country. But when they're here, they're lockstep. They understand it. You see? So when somebody comes from the Asian area of the country, you have a Laos, somebody from Laos, and somebody from then the next person, they're Cambodian. They may not get along, but when they get here, they're one. We live here and we all over the map. We just everywhere but where we need to be. We can't get nothing accomplished, can't get nothing going because we quick to want to tear the next person down because they just put some rims on the damn car. Some rims. Literally. We did. Oh, he ain't got this. Why you worry about it? I don't worry about what another man got. One, I can't drive his car, and I'm not going to pay his note or his insurance or his rent. I'm happy for him. He happy. I have a favorite saying. If you like it, I love it. It is what it is. But at the same time, I just got to keep going back. We're losing our minds when we spend so much time trying to pull everything one person built and tear it apart. And then say, oh, well, we ain't got nothing in the black community. Stop tearing it up. You get something. If you stop tearing the black community up, you would get something in the black community. This ain't rocket science. It's just not rocket science. How you think you look around, everybody owns something in the black community except the black people. And we want spending the money. If we're spending all the money in the computer in the community, think about that. We're spending all the money in the community. And we control nothing in the community. You're not living in a community. You're living in a prison. You know what prisoners do? They spend all their money to go buy commissary. They don't spend their money and go buy a car. They go buy commissary. So what makes you so different than a prisoner? Because you take all your money and you give it to everybody in the community that don't look like you. They're not going to reinvest in the community. None of that. See how that works? You know, they often say that if you're into this kind of stuff, they say Earth is a prison planet, right? Prison planet. And sometimes I wonder if we really are a prison planet, you know, because it seems like we're all in a cage and we're all fighting to get out. And even if we do get out, we're so conditioned, and especially culturally conditioned, we end up going right back into the same state of mind that we fought to get out of because we're conditioned. Now, you want to talk about, are you losing your mind? Now, that's not a we. Are you losing your mind, right? Think about it. When they freed the slaves, they were so conditioned to getting up and working on the plantation, they still wanted to do it. And it was free. They said, oh, I'm going back picking the cotton ball. I don't know. This sugar cane got to be gone. Think about that. They free. That's how they said it back then. They free. Not they are. They free. But they want to be right back in bondage. Because mentally, that's all they know. So when you think about a black community, and this is not the black community as a whole, don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. It's a small percentage. Think about it and compare it to a prison, right? You're isolated in your community. You're not going anywhere outside the community. You're isolated for the most part. And I mean, when I say isolated, education-wise, there's not much that you know outside that community. And we all know people that lived in certain areas and they're 40-something plus years old. They've never been outside their city limits. It's kind of like a prisoner, right? And what do you do with your little bit of money? You got to buy commissary. So we go and take out a little bit of money and we give it to somebody else and they take our money and put it in their community. See, no difference. Just different way of looking at it, you know? And I get it. Now, somebody would say in the comments later on, or maybe, well, I got to buy stuff. I ain't tell you don't buy nothing. I did not tell you that. What are you talking about? Yeah, you got to buy. That's what money is for. It's currency to buy and purchase goods. But understand your purchasing power and where you purchasing stuff at. Because one thing I know, living up here in Connecticut, we've got Polish communities, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Germans, Russians, Ukrainians. I say Ukrainians. Cam up for a minute, Mob. I want to make sure that's you. I don't need nobody popping up with a nasty picture or something, if you don't mind. Yeah, that's that ugly mug. All right, you can cam down. Cam down, Mob. Bring you up.
What's up?
What's going on? Let me give my brother applause here. That's all you get.
Sound effects.
I got the mob with that. So, but let me finish this up, Mob, before you make comment, if you don't mind, brother. So, what I want to say with that, with everybody, is start looking at spending your money in black businesses if you can. And if it's not one near you, I get it, right? And start saving your money. I think as a whole and as Americans, and this is not based solely on a color thing. I think as Americans, we spend too much of our money on stuff that we truly don't need. right? And we've gotten so used to making everybody else rich, and they've gotten used to it. So they just raise the price up and keep it going. And you trying to figure out what's going on because you are conditioned to spend over 30% of your check every time you get it, whether it's bi-weekly or weekly. You get conditioned. So think about that prisoner. When it's time for him to get out, he's so conditioned, not all, some, that he had it better in prison. Think about that slave that was so conditioned, not all, but some, that who witnessed rape, beheading, all kind of mutilations. And once they was freed, they rather go back to that same kind of thing. Now that's crazy. Go ahead, Ma. What you got, brother?
No, I just wanted to. I jumped in because you was talking about buying power within the community,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to know. I just want to tell you just from my experience, because I grew up in the projects, etc., etc. But as I got older, I got experience to a lot of different cultures and a lot of different ways of doing things. And what I learned amongst the other communities is the reason they come over here and they're able to prosper and grow in the short amount of time that they have is because they're keeping that buying power within their community. The same products that most people in the black community buy are products that black community don't own. Like, I mean, people look at shoes. People buy Nikes, Adidas. You got celebrities promoting stuff like Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, etc., etc. When you have a black business owner like Master P, who's been putting out shoes for what a decade now, and people mock them, people laugh about them, all the other stuff, and it's just like every product when you think about it, when it comes to shirts, when it comes to designer bags, when it comes to rims, when it comes to car parts and stuff, there is black manufacturers making this stuff. It's a black manufacturer, Kofi Wheels in Atlanta, that makes custom wheels. But everybody would prefer to go to Forgiato or Rucci or Coleon Forge, and none of those are black owned. But when they look at Kofi Wheels, they look at it and they see the price of it, and it's like they look at it and it's just like, I'm not paying the same price of Forgiatos because of like it's not the same to them. I don't understand. But the buying power is there, and the community has to keep that buying power within it, and they'll grow in a short amount of time. That's what everybody else is doing. And I don't know what's going to take for that mindset to be pushed out amongst everybody else. You feel me?
Well, let me ask you this then. The guy, the black business owner who makes those wheels, rims, whatever you want to, I don't know what the proper way of saying it, but everybody know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure the metal or aluminum, let me say it that way, that he uses, every other manufacturer uses, correct?
Exactly. Yep. Yes, sir.
So the problem is we're conditioned, Ma. We're conditioned to think that if we're going to somebody who doesn't look like us, and there's nothing wrong with that, you ain't knocking that, do what you want to, but we're conditioned to think we're getting something better. So we automatically devalue this guy. Automatically, we marginalize this guy. Is what we're doing. And if we keep doing that to our people, we're not going to exist. Period. We're just from a business standpoint to an everyday life standpoint, whether people want to admit this, and I was going to do this on another show, but I'm gonna tap into it because you brought up something that's really important. You formulated it different, but it's really important what you said, and I'm going to give you that kudos. Is we're looking at a point of annihilation in this country. Not saying somebody's going to rise up and kill us. No, no. Annihilation to the point that because we don't control anything in these communities, we have no power. And the only thing that government and capitalism understands is power. So when you strip the power of a people, they become null and void. They become not visual. That's not the word I want to use, but they're not visual. You don't see them as equal because they have no power. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And we're just culturally conditioned to think that way, right? We think our power is buying a house we can't afford. We think our power is buying a car so everybody can look. And I'm not going to sit here in front. There's nothing wrong with buying a house. You got the money to buy a $400,000 house, buy. You got the money to buy that Cadillac Escalade for almost 200,000. Buy it. But if you don't buy it because you're giving too much of your power away. Your power is in that dollar. The power is in that vote. The power is in that education. So we got to break the mindset. And it's nothing that we can do overnight because we didn't get into this overnight. But we got to start. And the best way to start is show your own the same respect that you would show somebody that don't look like you. You see? So when you see somebody that don't look like you, don't act like you talking like you from Yale. And then when you come to talk to me, you talking about them and they. Well, hold up. Why they get to use? Why you use the word there and all these other words over 5 letters? But then when you come to me, it's them and they. Who is them and they? Now, if you from the region that I'm from, you know who them and they is. You see, you know who them and they is, and that's totally incorrect grammar. But you know them and they. But we got to start with the basic, man. We got to start respecting ourselves. Let's just put it where the goats can get it. And when we're going into a black business, don't devaluate that business. If you don't want that man's price, get out of there. Don't try to talk him down because you would not do the same to any other business. You're not going to do it. And they can say, well, I fight for my price. You ain't doing nothing. That man tell you that, we was on trucking. I'm still in trucking. That man tell you it's $3,200 for this part. You gonna figure out how to give that man $3,200 and fix your truck. But don't go to a black vendor where he's got his own shop and tell him, man, I can get this done for 28. Well, go get it done then. What you in here for? What you in here for? You know how many times?
Can I make?
Go ahead.
I'm going to cut you off, but can I make a comment with that? So I know a lot of business owners with shop services and products, and I've noticed there's 2 different type of owners. Um, there's the owner that will pay the price of being an owner, and there's one that's not. And the one that's willing to pay the price of being an owner, when they go there, they have a professional service and they market their services or product to a different demographic. And the situations that they come across with negotiations or like the bull stuff, they don't get that because they pay the price of being an owner, which means having the proper equipment, having the proper permits, having the proper licenses. There's some people, the other side, where they're just operating off LLCs. You go to their house, say detailing, they're coming out with a bucket and a rag. And it's just like, but you still want to ask that same price. So it's like, even if it's a business owner, it's not even about color at this point. It's about just being a business owner. If you're gonna have a business, you have to put out that service that people is willing to pay for. And you can't service your community and lower your service level to a certain level just because you can serve it to a certain community, because you do have those type of owners. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I get that, right? There's cost of running a business, right? If my price is set at market value, that's my price.
Mm-hmm.
You got the right to pay it or not. I'm setting it at market value, right? So you do tinning and other people do tinning. Are y'all within the same price range?
No,
And why is that you're not?
because my service is better.
Okay, so there you go. You can charge more for your service, right? Okay.
And
So,
and I know other owners, right? Black business owners where they have a shop, and I know some black business owners that have a shop. And when you go to this guy's shop, you're going in to a waiting room, you're sitting down, there's coffee right there, there's water right there, little TV. You know what I'm saying? When he tells you the price, you ain't going up there negotiating.
Correct.
You have
But
another ben. Go
I'm
ahead.
doing the same thing. The
Hmm.
business is the same. I don't have coffees for my customers. I don't have the best sitting. That don't mean I'm charging less because you paying for my quality of work. Because you know why? I don't. Everybody from the 90s, if you had a car from 1990 to 2000, and this company is better now, you always knew, don't take your car to Pep Boys. They will rip you off. Pep Boys are still in business. They're all over the country, right? They had the best of everything. Don't go to Pep Boys. They're gonna rip you off. If you wanted your car painted years ago, I had mine done in high school, Era Shine, $299, right? You knew you was getting paid for a $299 job. But let's fast forward now. If I need to get my car painted and I want a midnight blue, and he's gonna do it, and if the black man tell me that it's $10,000, I'm not going to haggle him because that's his price. And he's got the right to charge his price because owning a business, if I come in there, there's a lot I don't see. I don't see what you're doing. I don't see the time that it took for you to hone your craft. Like when you stuck that little tool inside the window and you was showing, right, how, what it does. And like, hey, man, certain cars, I have to take the whole door panel off. So this is why I charge more. Now, if I bring that Mercedes to you and you said, Theo, hey, look, man, it's $1,500. I can get it done in 4 hours. Mom, I'm not paying no $1,500. Man, come on, you can't do it for 12. Now, how am I to ask you to do it for 12 when you got to go through all these steps? That's your time. You built up your experience, your know-how to do this the right way. Why should I come in and undervalue you?
I'm gonna put a little input on that because you have to understand. I don't say too much about what I got going on, but you gotta understand. I do things out of my home, and I also have a shop where I do things. So this is what I've noticed, right? Now I have a certain level of service and quality, so I can have my price here. But when I go to my shop, it's a different price because of this. It's a different service. Now you have a waiting room. Here at my home, you don't have a waiting room. So over here, my max price just pay for a regular vehicle is $300. Over there, my max price is $500. I mean, minimum price is $500 because of the level of service and location. Now, over here at my home, you're getting the same service, but me offering those other accommodations, I can offer a better price because even though I can say the same services here or at the shop, a Lotus is not going to come to my house. A Lotus will come to my shop though. A
Well,
Lamborghini
I'm
won't
going
come
to
to
say
my house. Go ahead.
that price that you're going to charge for the house and you ain't going to offer me no vodka. Light-skinned Tony down the street, at least give you a soda. And he
All
doing
right.
it.
So the way I operate here is appointment only, drop off only. You can't wait on it.
Got you.
That's
Okay.
how I got it here. Now at my shop,
Mm-hmm.
you can literally walk up. Like you can just be driving down the street, Theo, and see the sign and just pull up.
Yeah.
There, I can do you right there. Over here, you're not gonna be able to do that.
Well,
So I have to. So the price reflects. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So over here,
Put down on
yeah.
that.
So
Prices.
over here,
Mm-hmm.
when they drop it off, it's just say F-150, just getting 2 front windows. I'll charge 120. Ceramic film, same service and everything, right? Now I
Mm-hmm.
go to the shop. You driving down the street, you see my sign, you pull up. Guess what? It's $200.
Mm.
Same service, same product. The only thing changed was the location and the accommodations.
Oh, okay.
So the
Well,
level of service. So it's like, let's say
I
a guy.
go ahead.
I don't want to bring too long, but I just want to make one more point before we go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
So let's
trying to
just say
give you.
that the $10,000 paint job thing, right? So let's just say this guy A1, like he's great with it, right? When you drop it off, he's at a trailer and he has a tent in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Versus a guy you pulling up and when you go into an actual shop, do you feel comfortable spending the same $10,000 at the trailer park and the tent in the back or the shop?
If that's his price, I'm comfortable with his price. If he
Okay.
shows me the work, the quality of work that he's done, I want you to understand this. If he's showing me the quality of work that he's done and that's his price, then I'm going to give it to him, right?
Guess what?
Just because he's got a fancy shop, and I've been down this road before.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's got a
That don't
fancy
mean nothing.
shop doesn't mean the quality is going to be better, right? And this guy that's out in this mobile home, let me tell you something. His quality may be 10 times better. You know why?
Yeah.
Because he's trying to build up a customer base. The guy that's got it all, I got this big shop, I got a neon light, I got a
He's
girl
focused on
that's got clean.
volume.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? He think his
Yeah.
quality is the best. He said he's made it. So I'm looking for the man that's trying to make it. Because you know
Hey.
why? I know he's going to be dedicated to his craft. He's going to make sure I'm happy. Now that's the philosophy I have. Doesn't mean
And guess what, Theo? I have the same exact philosophy. Because, like, with my OBS, I have my OBS sitting in the country at a shop where nobody knows about. You know what I'm saying? And he does A1 work. I could take it to a well-known shop here that does maybe the same quality, a little bit less. He's going to charge a lot of money. Me and you know that. Me and you agree on that. Trust me, I'm 100% with you. But there's some people out there that don't think like that. And it's a lot. And that's why when it comes to like a certain consumer, that kind of matters to them for some reason. Like it's some consumers that they don't care if you pull up in the Freightliner with a flatbed or ball tire, they want their product. And there's some consumers that no, they want a Conestoga, somebody that looks like they care about their truck and their equipment. Because they care about their truck and equipment, they care about my product. There's just some consumers like that.
Correct. And listen, we're not gonna try to dispute that, right? Some people care, some people don't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm just one of those people when it comes to a business, and I'm speaking for Black businesses, just any business, but I'm speaking for Black business. Stop going in there trying to determine their price. If you don't like it, leave, go somewhere else, because this man has put his time into his craft. This man has put his time into blood, sweat, and tears to get to where he is at. And you want to negotiate with me and you can't do it? If you can do it, if you can find somebody who can get it done cheaper, why you in my face? If you tell me, oh man, it only needs this, why you here? It's no difference when I used to tell people and they call me about their situation with their truck and I'm trying to explain it to them, but they trying to tell me, well, what you calling me for? You didn't need my advice. Why you calling me? If you telling me all this and I'm giving you factual advice at that time as an owner of a truck who did all his maintenance, I'm giving you what it is, how it should be. You want to tell me something, what you calling me for? So if you don't want to pay this man's price, you want to haggle him down and try to tell him what he needs to do the job that you're requesting, then why don't you do it? That's what I'm trying to say. This is nothing against you, but that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm only going to be up here for a little bit longer. I want to move on.
I'm about to go ahead and give me something to eat.
No problem, brother. Hey, look, I appreciate you coming by. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Pop it up. Yep. All right, everybody. Ooh, we're almost 2 hours long. I wasn't even planning on going that long. Medicine started to kick in. You get a little older, you start getting all those prescription medicine. It normally kicks in early, but it didn't kick now, started to kick in, so I'm getting a little fatigued. So I want to say this, and DB had put in a comment about investing, and I wish he could have stayed with us a little longer. Maybe next week, probably Thursday again. God's willing. I think I'm gonna try to go a little earlier. Try to have DB up here again, and we're gonna talk about investing. Why it's important to do it. Why it's best to do it when you're younger, but just try to get started on something, right? And here's a fun statistics I want everybody to think about. Last year, like everything, the government keeps stats, or they say numbers, on what we're doing as a country, whether purchasing power, we win that all the time, right? What ethnic group is rising among the educational ranks? And what I'm hearing, black women are still getting most of the degrees. I'm not sure what they're in, but they're getting it. So kudos to them. But there was a statistic that came out, and I thought it was very interesting. It talked about investing. And last year was one of the best years for blacks moving into investing, which I think is a good thing. I think that for so long we didn't take part of it. One, because we just didn't know, right? And that's just a fact. We can't blame our parents or their parents. A lot of them didn't know, because we're just trying to make it step by step, right? One check at a time, trying to survive. We got kids, take care. So we're not thinking about investing. But then, we get a little older, we start reading more, we start meeting people, and like, wait a minute, you mean tell me I could have took that same $2,000 24 years ago and invested it, and now I'll be sitting on almost 38,000? Yeah. Wow. And that's it's just a number I'm throwing out, but that's reality too. So for those who are into investing, for those who are thinking about it, I will say this. We talk about it on the phone, the S&P 500. If you're getting into it, if you're not buying into the S&P 500 blue chip stocks, anything that mirrors the S&P 500, we just had ETF last year that outperformed the S&P 500. Actually, if you look at the numbers, it beat the S&P 500 by 6%. And, when you look at compound interest, that 6% can make a big difference. We're talking about numbers at the end of a term. So, and then, of course, how much you got invested. So for those who are thinking about doing it, do your research. Like I said, we're going to start talking about it more as the year goes on, because that is something we like to talk about. And I'm not going to lie, I do investing, but I'm still learning, right? So I've learned to put myself around people who know more than I know about investing, and I have to take what they say. I leave my ego at the door and I listen to what they say. I write it down. I start looking. And once I start looking, I research and I come back to them. Man, look what I found, this and that. And we're just sharing information, right? And I want to do the same thing. Share information with those who want it. If you don't want it, don't take it. We got some guys and even guys on YouTube, different trucking channels. They talk about crypto. I'm not knocking crypto. I got a sminy, nice sminy. It's not even a word. My South of the Mason-Dixon line is kicking in, or the Medicine one of the two is kicking in. But a small part in crypto, right? And I wouldn't tell somebody don't do it, but I'm going to bring somebody on one day who can truly break it down and see if that's something. If anybody wants to go that route, you've got some kind of information, not just you're reading a story on Google and you see a headline, Bitcoin, $104,000, right? You can't buy one Bitcoin because you don't have $104,000, but you can buy into Bitcoin. So I'm going to bring people on and start talking about that. But just for those who want to invest, hey, get started. Don't wait to the last minute, right? Don't wait till that hearse come to pick you up talking about you going to invest, because now you're going in the ground. So don't wait that long. And let me say this. Don't listen to these clowns and idiots and imbeciles. There's some other words I can use, but I'm just going to keep it there. That would say to you, why invest your money? And if you die, you done lost all your money. Now that is some of the dumbest, man, I want to cuss. That is some of the dumbest. That is some of the dumbest things I've heard people say. If you do decide to invest your money, and let's say you go 25 years hard in the paint, out of 25 years, you did $8,000 every year. And let's say it was a high earner. Let's say it was a dividend stock. And now you're sitting on about, well, let's just say, give a hypothetical, $700,000. You die. Okay, you dead. But guess what? If you got a wife, you got kids, you just gave them a head start on generational wealth. So if you're thinking about investing and you listen to some idiot, some imbecile telling you it's not worth it because if you die, you can't get the money. Well, that's somebody who only cares about themselves. Because you got family members you can leave that money to. You can set that money up. If you've got nieces and nephews and no kids, and you've got $750K, and if something happened to you, you can break that up that they each can get a certain amount, and you can break it up so that guess what? They get their shares. Now they're getting money. Now they're growing their portfolio. So don't always think when people tell you stuff like that, turn them off. Just turn them off. Don't even listen to it. Because when we start talking about investing, especially in the Black community, it's always about they want to see you hanging outside of a G-Wagon. They want to see you getting off of a private plane that they rented. They rented this, and this is what they showing you, saying this is what I made from investing, right? One of the best guys out there, John Hope Bryant, very wealthy man, never boasts about what he got. Never talks about his house, his car. He's constantly trying to figure out a way for us to get the financial stability, then financial freedom, and then we start building wealth. That's the people you want to follow. So if you get a chance, hey, check out John Hope Bryant. If you ever get a chance, he's always got great videos on TikTok, so on and so on, right? Until then, listen, I'll be back next Thursday, guys willing. We're going to see y'all again. We're going to chop it up. We're going to do it again. Like always, everybody be safe out there. I know the South has gotten some bad weather. You guys aren't used to it. But, hey, you're getting used to it now. I can tell you that. You getting used to all that bad weather that we get all the time, and it's a walk in the park. But for us, hey, it's a normal Monday. So I understand it. But other than that, listen, everybody that came in, I appreciate it. From G-Wade, Marco, Rob, I was going to say Rob. I haven't talked to Rob in so long. So, Rob, if you ever get this, brother, let me know how you're doing. I'll reach out to you on Facebook. I always like to know how my brother doing. I haven't talked to him in a while. And everybody that came in, hey, I appreciate it. And, hey, we're going to do it again. Other than that, Theo is going to be out. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Get my new intro up. Y'all about ready? Let's do it.